Hello and welcome to new session of working capital management. We all know working capital is a capital which any company or a firm or any small shop requires to run its day-to-day operation. Company may have crores of rupees of investment in plant and machinery, furniture, fixtures, building, technology, but at the same time company also requires some fund on hand. Company cannot run without its proper amount of working capital. If company has too little working capital, that means if company is keeping too less cash to run its day to day operation, then it will adversely impact the company's goodwill, because if company is not able to manage its day to day operation and company is not able to make their routine expenses, it adversely impact the goodwill of company. And at the same time, if company is keeping high amount of working capital, on the contrary, it gives opportunity cost to the company. Rather than keeping cash on hand, company can keep this money in other investment, company can keep this amount in bank and could have earned some interest. So it's always challenging how much fund company should keep on hand. And there are many methods companies are using. Some companies are using percentage of sales method, some industries are using percentage of capital investment method, that amount of working capital is required. But what is the exact amount of working capital which company require? We are going to discuss that part in this video. So in this video we'll be discussing about practical sums, or you can say case studies of designing working capital. What should be the working capital company can have? Either company can match with the industry standard, or company can find out the exact amount of working capital which they can keep on hand, and because of which we can find it out with the help of statement showing working capital requirement. So in the further part of this video, I'll explain you the pro forma of working capital, what should be, how to prepare working capital statement, and two practical problems which we'll be talking in this video. What is the working capital, how exactly we can identify the what is the process of finding the working capital. So let's see the further part of this video. I'll first explain you the pro forma of statement of working capital requirement. So in this screen, as you can see, this is a statement of working capital requirement. Before starting with this pro forma statement showing working capital requirement, let us just briefly discuss what is working capital. In example, or we can say in the formula, working capital is a difference between current assets and current liabilities. Now when we say current assets are those which easily converted into cash, the asset which companies are having which are in liquid form, or it can be easily converted into liquidity. These are called current assets. And current liabilities are those, the liabilities which companies will have to pay within a short period of time, within a 1 year period of time. So as we can see, current assets are debtors, bills receivables, prepaid expenses which companies have, cash, and the stock of raw material, WIP, or you can say work in progress, finished goods, etc. Now these are the assets which companies have, and these are almost converted into cash within one period of time. Now let's say for example, when we are having debtors, when we are selling goods on credit, it pile up into debtors. But then the limit which we are giving to our debtors, our customers, are 2 months, 3 months, 4 months, max to max 6 months. But within 6 months you will be easily converted your credit customers into cash, and that is why it is not a long term asset, it is a short term asset. It is also known as a current assets. Bills receivables are, we can also say, it is the bills which are signed by customer, which we can go to bank, we can convert it to cash at a discount. So these are bills receivables. Prepaid expenses, these are also our asset. Let's say for example we are paying some expenses 1 month advance, 2 month advance, but within a year it will again convert it into cash, or it is obsolete, the expenses which we are paying 2 or 3 months or maybe 6 months in advance. The advantage we can get it in 1 year period of time, and that is why this is known as a current assets. Cash, yes, as it is already cash, so this is the current asset. And the stock of raw material, WIP, finished goods which we have prepared, this is also current asset. Now when you total all this current asset, that means these are the fund which are blocked, these are the money which are blocked in current asset. So companies are in shortage of fund. For example, the total current assets of companies are 70 lakhs, 70. So right now company is in shortage of 70 lakh rupees. So as a company I have to manage 70 lakhs, but at the same time I have some current liabilities, like let's say for example creditors. I am also getting some credit from my suppliers. My suppliers are also giving me some credit, that I can buy material from my supplier, but I need not to pay it right now. Maybe I'll be getting 2 months credit, maybe I'll be getting 3 months credit, and because of which I can easily avoid cash payment. But sooner or later, within a year, I have to pay. That is why it is a current liabilities. Bills payable, just like our customers have signed some bills and submitted to us, similarly we all are also signing some bills and give it to our suppliers. So these are our liabilities, but within 1 year we have to repay it. And there are some dues, outstanding expenses. We have workers and we are making them payment 1 week later, 1 month later, right, 10 days later, but sooner or later we have to pay. So these are though liabilities, but we have to repay it within 1 year period of time. And now let us say our current liabilities are 20 lakhs. So these are the uh, benefit which we are having of making payment, but not today, maybe later. So this is the advantage which companies are having. 70 lakh of current asset which companies have blocked the money, 20 lakh of rupees current liabilities which companies are having. So net amount which companies are have to manage is 50 lakh. That is called working capital requirement. So all in all, the difference between current assets and current liabilities are known as current asset, working capital of the company, and company will have to manage that amount as a working capital. So now in the next part of this video I'll be discussing the practical sum of working capital management. This is the first question of working capital requirement. We'll be calculating working capital requirement based on the given information, based on the given data. Now let us discuss first question. While preparing a project report, or you can say while starting a company on behalf of a client, we are supposed to make the estimation of working capital. Our client is requiring our assistance. They want our advice, that they are going to start with a company, but they are not aware how much cash they should keep on hand, and that is our liability. We have to tell them. And whatever calculation we are making, we will have 10% contingency. That means whatever the calculation of working capital requirement as per our working capital sheet, we will always add additional 10%. For example, our working capital is 50 lakh, but we will advise our client to keep plus 10% extra. That means 55 lakh rupees. That is what contingency or extra money we advise to our client. Now the questions are, the informations are as follows in this question. Raw material per unit, company is purchasing in 42 rupees 40 paisa. Labor, that means the wages which I am paying is 15 rupees 90 paisa per unit. For one particular product I am paying to my labor 15 rupees 90 paisa, and the total cost of making one product is 90 rupees 10 paisa. I am selling this product, company is selling this product in 106 rupees per unit, and there are 1 lakh unit which company is producing. Then the level of activity company is running throughout the year, that is why it is mentioned this per annum. Now the important informations are given. This you have to note it down, this you have to make it remember. Raw material in stock, company is keeping 4 weeks. That means though every year I am purchasing the raw material, but 4 weeks of raw material I always keep as my reserves. I always keep it, because on some days, let's say for example, there is no transportation facility, or there is no good working condition in the market, and if there is a delay in getting raw material, but still I have 4 weeks of raw material which is in stock. So that is why company is blocking its money in working capital. The first working capital is raw material, so company is blocking its money in raw material for 4 weeks. Work in progress 2 weeks, company is always keeping 2 weeks of WIP, half finished product, which company is also blocking its amount. So this is also current asset. Raw material also current asset. Finished goods, company is always keeping finished goods which can supply in market for 4 weeks. Even if the company is closed, or even if the production is closed, there are 4 weeks of finished product which is always available in warehouse. So that is also amount blocked in current asset. Credit allowed by suppliers 4 weeks. These are our creditors. Our suppliers are allowing us to purchase raw material, but we will be allowed to make payment after 4 weeks. Then we are giving credit to our customer for 8 weeks. Lag in payment of wages means we are delay in making payment of salary, or you can say wages to labor, for 1.5 week, and we are having cash balance of 1,25,000. Now you always remember, while calculating the working capital requirement, if information is given are in weeks, so we will calculate amount which is blocked in asset or liability, current asset or current liability, in weeks only. If the information is given in months, we always calculate the amount of working capital block in months. And if information given in weeks, we always calculate information or rupees in days. I mean, if it is given in days, we calculate in days. If it is given in weeks, we calculate in weeks, and so on. And another information is given is company is working for 52 weeks, because we need to find out if it is 2 months blockage. So in a year there are 52 weeks. So what is for 2 weeks? That is what calculation we will be making. The first and the next part we'll talk about the working notes of calculating all this, and then we'll plot this information into pro forma, and then we'll find out the working capital requirement. Now the calculations, as it is given, raw material, company is keeping 4 weeks of raw material in stock. That means 4 weeks of raw material amounts are blocked in working capital. So we will find out what is the amount. So for 1 unit 42 rupees 40 paisa company is paying. For 1 lakh unit, company in a year is making expense of 42 lakh 40,000. So this is for 52 weeks. 42 lakh 40,000 is for 52 weeks. So what is for 4 weeks? So multiplied by 4. So the raw material in stock is 3,26,154. Now for work in progress, though there are two school of thought. Work in progress means the product which is half prepared. So you can also mention whatever the total cost, divided it by 2, that is completion stage. 50% we have completed product. So what we can do, 1 lakh unit which company is preparing every year, multiplied by work in progress is half of the total cost. That also valid. And if you avoid the half of the total cost, and if you calculate work in progress on total cost, that is also valid, because we cannot be sure how much of labor has been used in work in progress. Maybe the labor part is done, maybe the 100% raw material have been used, only the overheads are 50%. So that is why, to avoid this confusion, we always calculate work in progress on total cost. So for 1 lakh units, the total cost is 90 rupees 10 paisa. So total cost is 90 lakh 10,000. This is for 52 weeks. What is for 2 weeks? So 9 lakh 10,000 divided by 52, we will get 1 week WIP, and multiplied by 2, we will be getting 2 weeks, which is 3,46,538 rupees. For finished goods, as the total cost we will be applying for finished goods, so again 1 lakh into 90.1. So total cost of finished product is 90 lakh 10,000. which is for 52 weeks, so divide by 52. Now we are keeping stock of finished goods for 4 months, so multiplied by 4, and that comes to finished goods of 6,93,077 rupees. So this is working note for raw material, work in progress and finished goods. Let's see the further working notes. This is working notes for creditors. We are purchasing raw material from creditors. One unit of raw material is costing 42 rupees 40 paisa. So for 1 lakh units of raw material, the total cost comes to 42 lakh 40,000. This is again for 52 weeks. Now creditors are allowing us 4 weeks of credit, so divide by 52 multiplied by 4, that comes to 3,26,154. Debtors. Now debtors are those to whom we are selling goods, and that is why we calculate total debtors on sell price. Our selling price is 106 rupees per unit, so 1 lakh multiplied by 106, so total sales comes to 1 crore 6 lakhs. This is for 52 weeks, that is for 1 year. Now we are giving our debtors are of 8 weeks, so what is for 8 weeks, so multiplied by 8, that comes to 16,30,769 rupees. And the wages, companies are having lag in payment of wages for 1.5 week, and for wages companies are paying wages per product 15 rupees 90 paisa. So 1 lakh into 15.9, that comes to 15 lakh 90,000, which is for full year, so divide by 52 multiplied by 1.5 week, that comes to 45,865. So these are the working notes. Now we will after finding all this data, we will put up into the working capital statement, and then we will find out the working capital requirement for the company, and then we will give advice to our client what should be the amount of working capital. This is the working capital statement. The working capital is the difference between current assets and current liability. So first we will mention the current assets. Stock of raw material, that comes to, as per calculation, 3,26,154. Stock of WIP 346,538. Stock of finished goods 6,93,077 rupees. Debtors, this is also part of current assets, so 16,30,769. And company is always also having cash of rupees 1,25,000. So total current assets, the company's amount which is blocked in current assets are 31,21,538. Now we'll deduct the liabilities, current company's current liabilities, which companies will have to pay within 1 year. Creditors, as per calculation, they are giving us credit for 4 weeks, that comes to 3,26,154, and wages as 45,865. So total current liabilities are 3,72,019 rupees. The difference between current assets and current liabilities are 27,49,519, plus we add a 10% contingency. So as per our calculation, our advice to the client is the client should keep 30,24,471 as cash on hand to run its company efficiently. So this is what the first calculation of working capital requirement. Now this calculation, company is calculating all this working capital as per weeks. Now in next calculation we will try to consider some part of current asset are in weeks, in days, some liabilities are weeks, days or in months, so in different calculation, and then we'll calculate how to calculate working capital requirement. This is second question of working capital management. As I said in previous question, company was managing working capital by taking everything on weeks. Now in this question we can see some part of working capital company is considering in months, some part of working capital company is considering in weeks, so that we can come to know the exact calculation of different methods of working capital management. Now let us first go with the question. And as I said every time, kindly note down this question in your book so that the next part it will be easy for you to understand the calculations. Now, as per the performa sheet given by the Ritwik Limited, our job is to calculate working capital requirement. Now, raw material per unit company is purchasing at 52 rupees. The wages which company is paying per product is 19 rupees 50 paisa. Overheads 39 rupees, and the total cost of completing one product, finishing one product, is 110 rupees 50 paisa. From this, company's profit is 19 rupees 50 paisa, and that is why the total selling price of one product comes to 130 rupees per product. Now, the company is keeping raw material in stock for 1 month. Now, this information we will calculate. First, we'll calculate what is the total raw material for a year, and if this is for 12 months, what is for 1 month. WIP half month, what is, we calculate WIP for full year, and then we calculate for half month. Finished goods again 1 month. Credit allowed to debtors, that is 2 months, that is our debtors. Credit sales is for 2 months. Creditors are giving us credit for 1 month. Average time in payment of wages is 10 days. So now this information is given in days. We can calculate in days, that is this is for 360 days, what is for 10 days, like this. Overhead 1 month. Now the very important information which is given over here is 1/4 of the company's total sales is on cash basis. That means indirectly, whatever the total production of company, 3/4 is credit sales. That is our debtors we will calculate on 3/4 of the total sales. Cash in hand company is keeping 1,20,000, and total number of units which company is producing in a given year is 70,000 units. So this is what the information about the question. Now let's see in the next part of this video calculation. First we go with the working notes, and then we'll go with the finding out the working capital requirement. These are the working notes for question number 2. Now raw material, as it is given 1 month in stock, so first we calculate what is total yearly raw material cost. 70,000 into 52 rupees, that comes to 36,40,000. This is for 12 months. What is for 1 month? That comes to 3,03,333. Similarly, for work in progress, we will take total cost, so 70,000 into 110.5, and work in progress comes to 3,22,292. And finished goods, it is given for 1 month, and for finished goods again we will take the total cost, that comes to 77,35,000 for a year, that is for 12 months, and for 1 month comes to 6,44,583. The remaining working notes are given in the further part of this video. Creditors are given for 1 month. So again we are purchasing raw material from creditors. So total raw material which we are purchasing is 36,40,000 for 12 months. That comes to, for 1 month, 3,03,333. Now for debtors, which is very much important calculation, 25% sales we are making on cash. So out of 70,000, only 75%, that comes to 52,500, is on credit. So these are our debtors, and we are calculating debtors based on the cost price, that comes to 110.5. So debtors comes to 9,66,875. So again we calculate debtors for yearly basis, that is 52,500, and multiplied by the price of debtor, we will divide it with 12 months, and it comes to for 2 months it is 9,66,875. Wages, it is given for 10 days. So outstanding wages for one product we are paying 19 rupees 50 paisa, so 70,000 into 19.5, and for 10 days, so we first calculate for 360 days, so total wages divided by 360, that comes to for one day multiplied by 10 days outstanding, so multiplied by 10, that comes to 37,916. And outstanding wages, or you can say overheads, outstanding overhead is again given in month basis. So first we calculate for 12 months, divide by 12, and then we'll find out for 1 month, that comes to 2,27,500. Now the last part is we will put up all these figures into the working capital statement, and then we'll find out what is the exact working capital requirement. The pro forma of working capital requirement. So we'll put up the figures as per our working notes. Raw material in stock is 3,03,333. WIP 3,22,292 rupees. Stock of finished goods 6,44,583 rupees. Debtors comes to 9,66,875, and the cash is also part of current assets, and that comes to 1,20,000. So total amount which is block of Ritwik Limited in current asset is 23,57,083 rupees. Now from this we will deduct the current liabilities which company will have to pay within 1 year. These are creditors 3,03,333 as per our working notes, which we have just shown in the earlier part of this video. Outstanding wages 37,916, and overheads comes to 2,27,500, and the company's total current liability, which is B part, is 5,68,749. Now when we deduct current liability from current asset, that is current assets minus current liability, that comes to 17,88,334. So we can give advice to Ritwik Limited that company can keep 17,88,334 rupees on cash on hand, or you can say the working capital liquidity on hand, and company can run its operation smoothly. So this is what the working capital calculations can be. Thank you for the listening, and for other materials and the PPTs you can visit my blogspot. Thank you very much.